welcome to the podcast Women Tech Makers Montreal. I'm Stefania. I'm a director of AI development in healthcare. I'm also a Women Tech Maker ambassador, the lead organizer here in Montreal, and I'm also ambassador and mentor for different organizations such as Women in AI, Women in Games, UNESCO and Women for Ethical AI.
And I'm Leticia. Hello, everyone. I'm Brazilian. I'm data scientist. I'm Women Tech Makers ambassador, and I'm organize the events for the community in Montreal, Women Tech Makers. And I'm also a Lodestar ambassador. It's a community in Brazil, and I mentor in Mulheres em Dados community, also a Brazilian community.
Okay, so today we are going to talk about Google I/O. It was a recent event by Google. We were there, and we were there with also the other communities such as the Cloud and Flutter communities and the GDG communities. And today we'll talk a little how it was, and especially the updates from Google. We have a lot to say. Of course, we are a little biased because we are from the AI point of view, but we will interview other people that have different specialties, so it will be very interesting. And what is Google I/O?
So if you don't know what this event is, basically Google I/O is an annual developer conference held by Google, and it happened in Mountain View, California. And this event brings announcements of new technologies. And to start with an icebreaker question, Steph, was your first time at Google I/O event?
Great question. No, it was not my first time. This was my second time, but this year was different. So last time it was just last year. This year was very different. There were a lot of stuff to do, and especially there was the demo session that I really loved because I was able really to try and test what we heard about as an update for Google. And what about you? I think it was your first experience.
Yeah, for sure. It was my first time, and it was an incredible experience. It was amazing to be able to go with all the ambassadors and create connections and learn about what's new Google. And it was my first time in California, so yeah, it was amazing. Not in California, in San Francisco specifically. Yeah.
And of course in Mountain View.
In Mountain View, yeah, for sure. So now doing a recap of the announcements, the highlights of the Go I/O. Basically, Gemini took over the events updates, and one of the projects was the Project Astra. Basically, it's a research project in collaboration with DeepMind, and is AI assistant that is helpful in everyday life. It's a multimodal AI assistant that allows users to interact with a true natural language and visual inputs. Users can keep their camera on while exploring their surroundings and conversing with Astra, with the assistant, which will respond in real time. And one of the videos shown at the event that I found very interesting is when the person forgot when their glasses are and asks the assistant about it, and the assistant responds in real time. So it was amazing.
Do you remember where you saw my glasses?
Yes, I do. Your glasses were on the desk near a red apple.
Yeah, and honestly, I think you were not the only one surprised by that. So I think it's amazing, and it's also amazing probably because I worked a lot in research, so I'm really amazed by this kind of product that comes to the everyday life of people. And I mean, you know, Leticia, I'm also a singer, so I really like all the creation part. So yeah. I will talk a lot about Google and the creativity world. One of the surprising thing that we saw was Polygemma, which is an open source vision model. So basically it's a model that combines the vision part but also the text part. And I think it's a really interesting model, especially if we think about how to use AI at work. So I think about people that work with image and short video captioning, also to create visual question answering, or only to use it in image recognition. And it's open, so So that's great. And it's interesting that you can find it on Hugging Face, and you can also have the compatibility with Jakes. And I think, however, that you know a little more. You can talk a little more about the protagonist, Gemini.
So as I mentioned, the Gemini was the protagonist of this event, and one of the announcements was the Gemini 1.5 Pro in a new lightweight model. The Gemini 1.5 Pro model has been improved and will now be available with a 2 million token context window, is double the previous limit through Gemini Advanced and Google AI Studio. Additionally, Gemini 1.5 Flash is the new lightweight model that was introduced, offering faster performance while maintaining the 1 million token window. And yeah, so also they announced the Gemini integration with the Google products. Gemini will be integrated. This was amazing. I'm super excited to test it, because now you can have the Gemini integrated with Gmail, for example. So Gemini can assist with writing, inbox search, and information summarization. This is super helpful. Also, we can have the Gemini in the side panel of service like Gmail and Drive also, and can search content in your accounts to create content, for example. This can be helpful to summarize emails and documents, find information that you want in your Google Drive, for example. So it's helpful a lot. And the other one that they mentioned in the event was the Google Photos. Basically, you can ask on Google Photos using Gemini. Imagine if you can ask, for example, to find photos related something spread out over the years, like records of you in the park or you in the summer. And this feature can help you to see your evolution, to see your pictures, your related photos. So yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I was already I really love Google Photos, and especially how you can erase every type of noise, and you know very well because we used a lot while we were in San Francisco for our photos.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy to see that we can interact more and more with our photos and our souvenir. And it's not only in general the Google products that are changing. I think that also that there is a big change that is Google search. I mean, Google is the company that has invented basically how to search on the web. And we had, so one thing, I'm very sad because it's only available in USA, and it is called AI Overviews. So basically it's a sort of revolution in Google search. So you can imagine Google search with Gemini. So you can interact with the web, and you can, for example, not only ask, like write in a natural language what you want to search, also in other words you can explain context and so on. You can also basically interact with the web. So in some ways you can have, for example, photos that are open, or for example maps and so on. So basically it's a new way to see the user experience in the web, and I think I'm really excited to test it. So I hope that it will arrive soon in Canada. I think also there are some news in terms of models for text to video generation, if I remember correctly.
We have this news about the text, basically search things with Gemini, but we also have the video, for example. It's a video generation. You can have the text input and you can generate video using this. It's a tool similar to Sora, and it generates high quality videos and can go beyond a minute in a wide range of visual styles. And also there is the imaging tree. Basically, instead of converting text to video, you can convert text to image.
And that's great. I remember it was already a product in Google, so this is an update, and it was already very useful at the very beginning. So we said before that this year for Google, I think there are two trends. If we, of course, we don't cite Gemini, but there are two trends. First of all, user first, but also the creative world. So one thing that was really interesting, again, to test, it's only on you in the USA for now, but we hope it will arrive soon in Canada. It's the use of AI in YouTube. So we know that AI, it has been already used to monitor YouTube in order to make it safer. But right now we have also the introduction of a sort of conversational AI for the videos. So it's like you can ask basically questions about the video itself. So it might be fun for, we can say, the average user on the internet, but I can really think about all the educational uses that you can do. I would like to go back to school just to test this, to study better, probably.
Yeah, this is amazing. It's like,
and then there is my favorite feature after Astra, which is Music AI Sandbox. So I think we waited half an hour to test it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm a singer, I'm a musician, and I'm really happy to see that finally there is some use of AI also in music. So it's a collaboration between, again, Google and DeepMind and YouTube. Mm-hmm. And basically, you can create your music by using words. And the words can be, for example, some imaginary words. So to create some, we can say, ambience. Mm-hmm. And then you can also try to search for the right style or the right type of music, the right instrument, and then you can basically mix the sounds together. Mm-hmm. And you can also decide if you want more or less of some sounds, and also if you want more creative sounds, like the temperature in every language model, but in that case it's applied to music. And I mean, as a musician personally, I think that for now it's a little hard to use it in a professional way, probably because however we're not exposed to the full model yet. At the same time, I can really, I'm excited because I can think about people that probably they don't do music on a regular basis, and they can start to experiment. And also we will see a lot of new, cool, weird music generated. Yeah. So it will be very interesting to see all this.
Yeah. And if you are interested, you can try it.
It's available in Canada.
Yeah, we will leave the link in the description of this video so you can click there and try to see how it works.
And you can also share it. So if you want to comment and share it, we will hear.
Yeah. So this is our first episode. I hope you like it. This is just the first of many episodes. Thank you for the audience for listening this episode. Don't forget to follow us on the social media. You can find all the links in the description.
And of course, since it's our first video, we would like to have some reaction too. We hope that are positive reaction. And so the question is, now that you know a little more about Google I/O and all the updates, are you going to test anything? Do you have any, questions, anything that you want to discuss, any comment? Just share with us. And we will reply, or at least we will try to start a discussion about that. Of course, if you want to read more about that or watch some of the stuff that we presented, we will write down all the links so you will be able to follow everything. And right now, it's the time, I think, to give some voice to the community, not only Women Tech Makers Montreal community, but also GDG and Flutter. So we will close the video by introducing 3 people. We work closely with them and they were with us at the Google I/O. We will start with Billy, who is a software engineer and is also an organizer, GDG Montreal, and part of the Flutter meetup network supported by Google.
We also have Jhin. He is a full stack developer at Unity. And he's also organizer GDG Montreal and part of the Flutter Meetup network supported by Google.
And there will be also Carolina. So she's a Women Tech Makers. She's a Women Tech Makers Montreal organizer from Colombia. And she works as a configuration and data management analyst at MDA Space. And that's it. So thank you for being here with us. This was our first episode. And we will wrap it up here. And we will see you in the next episode. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
So during the Google I/O, there was a session about what's new in Flutter, and they announced like many things like WebAssembly, render engine improvement is a big change for Flutter itself. For example, the render engine change, and it will improve all the apps we are developing just by changing the version. So it's a big change. It's very interesting because we build apps for big conventions, for example. So we will need to target every type of phones, and this improvement will make the experience different in a good way. And the good thing about WASM, Flutter building with WASM, is for now in my work we don't see it as a public experience now. We just think about developing back offices, so only for web browser, and I think it will be a good improvement for some clients. We also announced recently the macro experimental feature, and with my team we are excited and waiting for this feature. We think that macros will save us a lot of time because we're just doing it for every project. And for example, always writing the same thing for every project, like JSON serialization or data classes, and macro will save us a lot of small time, but at the end, with all the projects we will have, all the features we will develop for the next years, it will save us a lot of time.
So there was a lot of announcement at the Google I/O. Honestly, there's no big impact on my day-to-day life at my work, but now I think I'm started thinking about using AI in everywhere. So for example, I'm working on the observability platform at Unity, and I'm thinking about how to integrate the AI or Gemini or any kind of AI into our services. And on the other hand, as Billy already mentioned about the macro feature for the Flutter, so like there's a lot of announcement on the Flutter side as well. I used Flutter for my side project mostly, not at my main job though. So yeah, I'm really excited about using those kind of new features to make the new product and then making my code more cleaner for my Flutter applications. And I think, yeah, that's about it.
Hi everyone. My first trip to Google I/O, this big tech conference, was amazing. It connected perfectly with my new role as an academic analyst at MDA Space. In my role, keeping track of design information for complicated projects efficiently is very important. One of the announcements I really liked was Firebase's expanded support for Postgres. From what I understand, good data management is like the foundation of a building for design projects. So big design files, keeping track of changes easily, and working together smoothly all depend on having a strong system. I think Firebase working with Postgres sounds promising because it might offer the ability to handle this complex data in the way that easy to expand and change as needed. This could make the CADM process at the MDA Space faster and easier for everyone involved. Beyond data management, what else? Google I/O show us a glimpse of future of design with something called Google Gemini that maybe some of you already know about it. This is a kind of computer program that learns and can do things without needing a lot of setup. While we don't know exactly how it will be used in my CADM analyst role yet, I see it like its potential automate repetitive tasks is exciting. Imagine keeping track of different versions of designs, analyzing information within the design files themselves, or even creating reports automatically. That sounds good. These are just a few possibilities that could significantly improve how efficiently designs are made. Also, as a CADM analyst, staying informed about the capabilities of tools like Gemini, I believe it will allow me to explore ways to integrate them and make the workflows at MDA even better. Perhaps I consider Gemini could maybe automate some of the tedious tasks associated with data management, freeing up valuable time for design designers and also engineers focus on the more creative aspects of their work. Additionally, its ability to analyze data within CAD models could open doors for new insights and also ways to improve designs. Okay, what else? While Excel macros are also powerful tool for automation, for automating repetitive tasks, in my role as a academic analyst, they can also be like time consuming to create and maintain. So one of the exciting takeaways from Google I/O was the focus on user-friendly AI tools. Imagine a future where AI can help create or even suggest macros based on the specific tasks that you could have in your work. Yes, I think this could significantly reduce the time and effort required to automate tasks within Excel for academic purposes. Thank you.